Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the 10 things that I did right when I was building my wardrobe and the things I think you should do as well. This video is kind of the opposite of a video I made recently where I talked about the 10 mistakes that I made, but I wanted to show this side of the process as well because I think there can be mistakes and successes at the same time, and we can learn a lot of valuable lessons from both of those things. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink, and let's get started. Number one was that I started this whole process by finding my personal style first, but then I kept working on it. The whole reason why I started building my wardrobe is that my old clothes didn't really feel like me anymore. So I knew that I had to start this process with finding my personal style first. But I had to keep learning and fine-tuning what my style really was because it didn't really become clear right away. But even though I made some mistakes, I didn't give up because I really wanted to see what it felt like to have a closet that was full of clothes I love to wear and clothes that really felt like me. And I can honestly tell you guys that I really have that right now. Last week I made a video about all the shoes that I have in my closet, and as I was looking at them, I was just in awe that these shoes were all mine. It wasn't a quick fix. It took me about 5 years to build the closet that I have right now. So don't give up if you feel like it's taking you a while to find your style. Keep working at it and writing down what you like and what you don't like, and it will be totally worth it in the end. When I first started this process, I picked a color palette that I was pretty sure I liked, and I tried to only buy clothes in those colors. Back then, I didn't really know anything about warm or cool tones. I just knew that I wanted to have a closet that was full of a lot of neutrals with a little bit of red, green, and pink in there too. At that time, my closet was full of a lot of different random colors, so I really wanted to try to limit myself to figure out what colors I really like to wear. And this really helped me make less mistake purchases because if I was trying out a new style of clothing, I knew that if I at least bought a color that I liked, there was a much bigger chance that it was going to be a good purchase. This also really helped me build a timeless shoe collection because I tried to only buy black, brown, or nude shoes, and now they all go really well with lots of different clothes in my closet. So when you're just starting out, try to pick a minimal color palette for yourself that you know you will love to wear, and then slowly add on to it as you go on. You don't have to have a boring colorless wardrobe, but limiting yourself in the beginning is super helpful when you're just trying to figure out what colors you like to wear. So I started a style notebook where I would write down everything that I purchased, how much it cost me, and how long it lasted in my wardrobe. And the reason why I did this is because I really wanted to see if the clothes that I was buying were really my style after all, and if they could be lasting items in my wardrobe. This process really helped me to see what brands or materials I liked or didn't like so that I could know if I should purchase from them moving forward. And another lesson that this process taught me was that I prefer to buy clothes that have a more timeless feel to them instead of more trendy clothes because they're not going to feel dated just after a year or two of having them. Keeping track of your purchases is a really great way to make sure that you're building a wardrobe that you really love and you really want to wear. If a purchase was really great, now you know that you really love that color and style, and you can move forward in that direction. And if it was a mistake purchase, well, now you know that that color or style or fit is not for you and you won't buy that again. I would recommend keeping track of this just on your phone in your notes app, or you can use a physical notebook or of course your computer. Setting a budget and trying to stick to it was another thing that I did, and that ended up working really well for me. When I first got started, my initial budget was pretty low at like around $300, but now that I'm willing to spend a little bit more for good quality clothes, I set my budget to around $500, and that works really good for me. That can seem high or low depending on how much you're willing to spend, so just make sure you set a budget that works for you and for your lifestyle. If you struggle with spending too much money on your clothes, really give this a try because it really helps to slow down our shopping because we have to stop and think, is this really something that I'm willing to spend my money on? The next thing that really helped me was assessing my wardrobe at the end of every season to see what really worked and what I felt was missing from my wardrobe. So after each season would end, I would just sit down with my notebook and spend a few minutes writing down what really worked well, what kind of styles I wore all the time, and also what pieces I felt were missing that season and that I wanted to add to my wardrobe before that season came around again. So at the end of last summer, I realized that I was missing a pair of casual sandals from my wardrobe, and I also wanted a few more casual summer dresses. So I added a pair of Birkenstocks on the top of my wish list and a linen dress. So when this summer came around, I knew that those things needed to be at the top of my wish list, and that made the whole process a whole lot easier. So you can do this for your wardrobe as well. Just take a few minutes at the end of each season and just write down some notes that you have from what worked and what didn't. And you'll really thank yourself when that season comes around again, because it will make shopping much smoother. So when I first started building my wardrobe, I looked at my closet to see what was missing or what items I would want to add, and I just made very general wish lists for fall, winter, and spring, summer. It was very basic at first because I was missing a lot of things like t-shirts or jeans, because my wardrobe at that point was full of just really random cute things, but I didn't have a lot of those basic pieces. And I would also constantly be getting distracted by all my favorite bloggers that would wear something cute, and I would think, oh, I want that too, so I would add that to my wish list. And it kind of ended up being just a random list of things that didn't really go together very well. Eventually, after a lot of trial and error, I started making wish lists that would be organized by priority, so that whatever I would buy would make the biggest impact on my wardrobe that year. I learned this from one of my favorite style books called The Curated Wardrobe, which talks all about how to find your style. It's really in-depth and thorough, but it's really worth the read if you want to really dig deep in rebuilding your wardrobe. I'm going to link it down below in the notes if you want to check it out and give it a read. So the tip here is to start by making just a general wish list for your closet, but try to fine-tune it every year so that you're making really impactful purchases for your wardrobe. Pretty early on in my journey, I started taking pictures of the outfits that I really loved, and I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons. One was so that I could recreate the outfit again, and also just so I could have style inspiration on days when I didn't know what to wear. I feel like this process really helped me to visually see what I like and don't like, or what styles go together for me, and just what outfits really feel like me when I'm wearing them. And now I have a whole collection of images that I can go back to, and I can see how my style has evolved over the years, and that's really fun. I have a video on my channel about how to find your style, and this is one of the steps that I talk about in there. If you guys want to give it a watch, I'm going to link that video down below as well. So if you're not really sure what styles you like to wear yet, start taking pictures on your phone whenever you're wearing something that you really love. And that will give you a lot of clarity into what your style really is. The next thing that was really helpful on my wardrobe journey was trying to resell the clothes that I no longer wanted. Since my clothing budget was not very big, I knew that I needed to resell some of my clothes so that I could be able to afford to buy some new clothes. I started by posting a lot of my items on Poshmark, and I was able to sell a really good amount of them. That process really takes a lot of patience and energy, because you have to take pictures of your clothes, then you have to package and ship it out. But if you have the energy, that's a really great way to go. I think I've made around $500+ from reselling my clothes, and that was really great. I also took some of my clothes to a local consignment store, and I was able to make some money there too. So that's another way that you can go. The best lesson that this process taught me was that clothing is not disposable, and it really made me want to take care of my items as long as I could, because our clothes are not really worth a lot to other people. So if we can make them last in our wardrobe, that really is the best way to go. And this also made me want to shop less, because I really didn't want to make more mistake purchases and then have to go through this whole process again. So if you're willing and able, I would highly recommend that you resell your older clothes. Not only did they get a second life in someone else's wardrobe, but now you can get some money back and you can fund your next purchases. Number 9 is that I started buying clothes for my more practical lifestyle. This is a revelation that finally came to me a few years down the road of wardrobe building. I realized that what I really wanted was nice clothes that I could wear at home around my kids, because before I would always just buy clothes that were a little bit nicer for going out, and I wasn't willing to wear them around the house because I didn't want to get them dirty. So my home clothes were just a bunch of old, worn out t-shirts and sweatpants, and I didn't want to feel like that anymore at home. I finally decided that I deserve to feel my best and like myself even when I'm just around my kids. And so that started with me trying to buy more clothes that were practical for my home life, but that still looked really good. But since I still wasn't willing to buy like a really nice sweater just to wear around the house, I found a solution that worked for me, and that was buying my home clothes secondhand. Because now I could buy like a really nice wool or cotton sweater that looked really great, but I didn't spend a lot of money on it, so I didn't feel bad wearing it around my kids. This now helps me feel really confident and like myself at home, because I'm not just wearing an old t-shirt and a pair of sweatpants. Even though, guys, I have to be honest, there's still some days like that, and there's no shame in that as well. So I highly recommend for you guys to buy nicer clothes for your practical lifestyle. Even if you're just at home with your kids or at home on the couch, you still deserve to feel nice and to feel like yourself. And the last thing was that I figured out how I wanted my clothes to fit my body. I think this is such an important step for building a wardrobe that we love, but we sometimes forget about it. Through a lot of trial and error, I realized that I like my tops to fit more loose and boxy, that I like my pants high-rise and more of a straight or wide leg fit. These realizations came after a lot of years of experimenting, and that's honestly the best way to learn what we like, because we have to just try a few different styles and fits to see what actually feels like us. But now going forward, I feel really comfortable and confident in my style, and I love all the clothes in my wardrobe. I know what fits and styles and colors suit me, and getting dressed is just really easy now. So experiment a little bit with different fits and styles, and pay attention to how you feel in your clothes. It really is worth it when you finally get to the point where you feel comfortable and at ease in your style. If you enjoyed this video, I would really love it if you subscribe to my channel and join my community here on YouTube. I love to chat with you guys in the comments, and I really love the community that we're building here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.